Welcome to the PatriotCast, your number one spot for everything New England Patriots. Hosted by Billy from Patriot Focus. Now, let's get into it.
What's up, everyone? Billy with Patriot Focus. It's gonna be a fun one today. I'm here with Matt from ChargerTakes. I was able to reach out to him, and we were able to do a crossover today to preview the Patriots versus Chargers matchup for the Wild Card. First things first, Matt, would you like to introduce yourself to the PatriotCast?
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
So you can find me at ChargerTakes. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I really started this channel this year, going to every Charger game, interviewing fans, and the page is kind of blown up, and I've done some other forms of content since then. So yeah, happy to be here.
Happy to have you here too. So today's gonna be a really fun episode because it's a wild card. I mean, it's a Patriots' first playoff game in 5 years. Chargers, they've been a little more used to it than us in the past 5 years. That's for sure. Drake Maye's first playoff game. That's gonna be something to go over, and about a little over 10 rookies for the Patriots, their first playoff games as well. So fun season for the Patriots, that's for sure. I want to start off with asking some Chargers questions for you guys. I know you guys have been a little stronger towards the end of the season, right? Is that that's
we had a rough patch. We went 3-0, and then we had a bit of a rough patch, and then we really picked things up. Absolutely, and especially we're talking fan base momentum too. For sure. It really started picking up towards the second half of the season, no doubt.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the Patriots, we're strength of schedule. That's our biggest. That's a huge topic for us this year. Is how our strength of schedule is very weak. It's something that a lot of teams think about. You know, we face quarterbacks like Fields, Spencer Rattler, Geno Smith, Cam Ward. Like these are just the quarterbacks we're facing. So now we go to Justin Herbert, a very talented quarterback, and now we got to go face him. So, as a Chargers perspective for you, obviously watching Chargers games, Chargers your main focus of team. What is how do I want to say this? Like, yeah, what is you guys' biggest like strength that you see right now? And like your defense is huge, right? What do you think the biggest strength in this Chargers team is?
Yeah, the biggest strength is Justin Herbert and our defense. You got that right for sure. I mean, and everyone knows the biggest weakness is our offensive line. I mean, this is borderline one of the worst ranked offensive lines in NFL history, maybe. Yeah. Definitely, like statistically, they're like ranked the worst for this year at least. So that's been a huge bummer. And really, what these wins have been coming down to is having an amazing defense, but most importantly, Justin Herbert being him. I think this also, too, as a fan, was sort of the year that the rest of the NFL took notice. Like, maybe we should stop hating on Herbert as much. Because, he doesn't have any playoff wins, and there are a lot of talking points where you could knock him on. But Justin Herbert is by far our biggest strength. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to stop him on Sunday night because Pats are, the cornerback Carlton Davis. He has been a liability this season. He came in as a free agent this season and this offseason, and we all had a lot of hope for him. And he came in and, not too good, blowing coverage a lot. So, first thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a comparison. So earlier today, I made a comparison post of the two teams, Chargers and Patriots. Quarterback wise, I went Drake Maye. What are your thoughts on this? Would you say Drake Maye or Justin Herbert?
I mean, for sure, Justin Herbert, and I'm going to talk some stack here. Here's my take on Drake Maye this year and I would love for you to enlighten me because I don't watch much Patriots
football. All right,
football.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody knew who Drake Maye was last year other than a quarterback who may become the next Mac Jones at best. And then all of a sudden you give him an easy schedule and he's up for MVP. So I would love for you to combat that and educate the Chargers fan base on Drake Maye's capabilities.
Yeah, so last year he was a 4-win team with a Gerard Mayo head coach, first-year head coach, and an offensive coordinator who really didn't have any reason to be here. And Drake Maye has the past three years of his career, he has switched coaching staffs. So that was in UNC as well. Drake Maye and what I see in him is like when he came into the league, I compared him a lot to Justin Herbert, and because I was actually a big Justin Herbert fan, and I compared him a lot to Herbert, and he can use his legs, kind of more of a big bodied quarterback, very strong arm, and kind of just has the ability to extend plays, and I just see so much more in Maye than a lot of other quarterbacks in this league because he's able to be a leader. He's on the field. I mean, he's rushing. He's always out of the pocket and he's just making great plays. So he's been a huge factor in this Patriots season. Almost a huge reason why we have the second seed. What would you say why Herbert would be better than Maye? What's your...
Yeah, first question would be, what does the Patriots offensive line look like?
Offensive line for the Patriots has been a lot better this season. Last season we were rough, really bad actually. Now we drafted left tackle Will Campbell at 4 this in 2025 draft, and he's been great. He got hurt and was out for 4 weeks and came back last week and he was fine. Jared Wilson, left guard, he's also a rookie, and he's been a little shaky, but he has been good for a fourth round pick, maybe third. Third round pick. He's been a little shaky for a third round pick. He's coming off a concussion protocol, so he is good. Should be ready to play, but he's been pretty good. Our right side has been very good, so our offensive line has been good. I would say almost great.
Yeah, so it sounds like Drake Maye got the protection he needs, and he has the coaching system that he needs to be able to perform. Now he's actually performing, and he's up there for MVP. Look, I'll say Drake Maye is way better than Bo Nix. I'm the biggest Bo Nix fraud advocate in the world.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with that.
And I do think Drake Maye is a good example of giving rookie quarterbacks a chance. A lot of veteran quarterbacks are now, like Peyton Manning, for example, he said quarterbacks are on too short of a leash these days.
Yeah.
And so it just took Drake Maye a year to develop. My argument to anybody who says there's quarterbacks out there that are better than Justin Herbert, and there's obviously a few that are better than him genuinely, my argument is always, and Charger fans are getting a lot of heat for this, where Herbert would be the best if, right?
Okay.
I saw a meme that Herbert, someone changed his last name to Ifbert, right? And so I would say Brandon Staley, our old coach, was one of the worst coaches of all time, bar none.
Yeah.
And that's who Herbert had to deal with. And then other than that too, there was still a lot of Charger organizational dysfunction at the organizational level when Herbert joined the Chargers. The team had just left San Diego and it was an ugly exit from the city. They were playing in a soccer stadium, and then now they're, renting out of SoFi, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then Herbert came in and he was our guy, and he still is. And then there was still some aftermath from all of that dysfunction. And Harbaugh's really the one who came in to save the day. And we were going into this year projected to be one of the best teams ever because we had a healthy offensive line. Our offensive line got completely injured, and now we have the worst offensive line. Yeah. And Herbert's still out there. We went undefeated on all of our primetime games. We kicked all the big market fan bases out of our stadium when they came through SoFi.
Yeah.
And then now we're selling out SoFi at 100% Charger fan ratios. And so I think the evolution of Herbert, he would have had a Super Bowl if we had a better coach, if there wasn't dysfunction, if this, if that. But it truly is the case with him. And so I have a hard time when folks say that they would take nearly any quarterback over Justin Herbert. But at the same time, I don't have too much intel on Drake Maye except for highlight reels and just knowing that he's up for MVP, and he does have pretty impressive numbers. But my argument is always like you could put almost any other quarterback in the league, probably including Drake Maye, with the situation Herbert's been dealt, and they'd be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked into the Chargers, especially this week a lot, and I think Maye would be able to handle it, but we're never going to know that. So, I mean, Maye has 71.7 completion percentage this year, which is, I mean, I think that's insane for a sophomore quarterback. So,
and I try not to discredit Drake Maye. I will discredit Bo Nix all day, but I do try not to discredit Maye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
even though I firmly believe Herbert's better, but I also firmly believe Herbert is the next best quarterback underneath Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, truly. And I know a lot of people call me delusional for that, so understand where I'm coming from here.
Yeah, I am understanding where you are coming from. I would just, I don't know. I think Maye is just, he's hard to, like, you just, there's not many negatives you can find with Drake Maye. Last year turnovers was a big issue. He really cleaned that up this year, I would say. His touchdown to interception ratio was 30-8. So, I mean, he's had a really good season. 4,846 total yards. That's passing and rushing. So, yeah, he's had a phenomenal season. That's for sure. Running backs. Let's go to that. So Chargers running backs or Patriots running backs. Who are you taking for this game? So that's assuming that Hampton will be healthy. And then obviously
I have to take Chargers running backs only because Hampton was injured almost all year and everybody in the Charger fan base was very concerned about that. But Vidal, our backup, really stepped up. And, Hampton has shown us a lot, but he hasn't really had the opportunity to show us a lot. But he still has had a lot of breakout runs, a lot of great breakout plays, as well as our backup Vidal. Yeah. And so I do like that combination a lot.
Yeah, these both these teams seem to have very good running back combinations. Ramondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson are also a great combination. TreVeyon Henderson and a very quick back, very elusive, and then Ramondre Stevenson, the guy you'll find in the pig pile, and he's a guy that running through the trenches and stuff. He's a power back of the team, where obviously Henderson's the elusive back and the rookie. So he is one of the rookies that we will be watching this playoff game because, I mean, obviously Hampton as well. Two rookies that starting running backs that will be getting their first chance in a playoff game. So it's gonna be fun to watch. I hope that the Patriots keep the ball on the ground a little bit more than normal, only because the Chargers DBs, I know that they are they don't allow the deep ball very much. So especially with Derwin James back there too, right?
I love our defense. I mean, even if you're just looking at recognizable star names, right?
Yeah.
Like we have Derwin James and Khalil Mack on the same team. Like even though Khalil Mack is quote unquote like out of his prime, right? He hasn't been primetime Khalil Mack since the Bears. He's still Khalil Mack. He's still one of the best in the league. And we have Derwin James on that same side of the ball. And then just being a diehard Chargers fan, I know all the names of DBs that other fans wouldn't know, but I'm thoroughly impressed. I mean, really the only time the Chargers DBs got burned this year was against the Texans, and there was a backup DB on the field and there was a miscommunication happening as it happened. I do think the Texans are frauds to that point. So I would actually love to hear what you're most afraid of. As a Patriots fan, what scares you about the Chargers the most going into this game? Is it the DBs or is it something else?
It's the DBs. I mean, the Patriots I wouldn't say rely like these past couple games, but the Patriots and the deep ball have always been, or this season has been a thing. Drake Maye is the best quarterback in the deep ball. I was going to say one of, but no, I think he is the best deep ball in the league right now. Definitely, I think statistically he has the most, whatever it is, like 20, 30 plus air yard touchdowns or whatever. Anyway, it's definitely the DBs though, because Kayshon Boutte, he's our deep threat, you could say, and he's been out for the past couple games. He came back versus Miami, which was week 18, and deep ball really slowed down once when he was out. He came back, and it's Miami, so you're not going to obviously see a ton, but he did. He's always looking for the deep ball. Maye is, so that's what concerns me with these Chargers DBs is they're able to stop that, and that's definitely one of our strengths.
What's another strength? So let's say the Chargers are really good at stopping the deep ball. Where can the Patriots make up for that?
On the ground. We definitely saw it last week. Ramondre Stevenson had over 100 rushing yards. First play of the game or second play of the game, whatever it was, broke out for like a 53-yard run. So, and especially with this O-line most likely being fully healthy. Obviously, Jared Wilson was hurt earlier this week. He was on concussion protocol, like I said. He will be healthy most likely for this game. So, the Chargers D line is scary, that's for sure, right? But I think keeping it on the ground is going to be a key thing, and we're able to do that. So, it'll be something to look for. A couple comments here that I'm gonna look through. Any visiting team that goes into SoFi says it feels like a home game. All right. Any thoughts on that one?
Hey, I'll address that for sure. That has been the case for years. Okay. This year, things changed, and it all started. It really began with when Harbaugh came in as our coach, and then when the Chargers opened up the season to go 3-0. But it really began when the Chargers kicked the Vikings out of our stadium during prime time earlier this year. And yes, it was an injured Carson Wentz, but we still won that game because Vikings fans are loud, and I know, and they were everywhere. And so we're afraid of the skull champ breaking out in our own stadium. But that never happened once. We kicked them out. And then ever since then, more and more fans were showing up. And then I'm telling you, and sure, it's Texans, right? But I'm telling you, our last game of the season at home against the Texans, it was a sellout with 100% Charger fans. There's videos on my Instagram account, ChargerTakes. You can look at that. And so the test to that take is this. Next year, we're playing a lot of big market teams throughout the season. And so it'll be really interesting to see if this momentum carries into next year. As a fan and a season ticket holder, I think it will. That's extremely biased. But that's a total fair statement to make. That SoFi is a home game for the away teams. But it definitely evolved and changed this year. I'll say this. Sure. If the Chargers can go 50-50 fan ratio against a big market team, it's a win. And then we started getting 60%, 80, 90 to 100% this year. And so anyways.
Let's put it this way. You will not hear any bulled up chants in Gillette. That's for sure on Sunday night. Patriots fans, they travel well, and they stay home pretty well as well. So let's see a little more comments here.
There will be. I do have to shout out the fan groups. There's Bolt Pride Worldwide, Die Hard Bolt Club, Bolt Dogs. There's so many fan groups that the Chargers have that travel that will be there. You check Instagram. I see them on flights.
I'm sure they will.
So the Charger fan group for away games, we are very small and mighty.
Yeah.
And I'm very pleasantly surprised. So I am curious to. I am generally very pleasantly surprised. So I'm curious to see how many fans show up. But you are very correct. It's going to be 98, 99% Patriots fans. And it's going to be loud, too.
Oh, yeah, it will.
It's going to be a rough environment, no question.
Yeah. Henderson and Ramondre. Thing is with Ramondre, he's starting to find his way again, and I hope it continues for him. I agree. Ramondre is starting to pick it back up. So, hopefully he does. He's able to find his way again. As long as Carlton Davis is off the field, we are fine. I completely agree with that one. Let's see what else in here. Not a single Chargers fan inside Gillette on Sunday. That's right. I do not think we'll be seeing much of that. No, Matt Collins is not starting. Matt Collins is on IR. One question for you. How did the Chargers play in the cold? I know they're indoors in SoFi, so is that going to be an issue? And maybe
I don't know the definitive answer to this. There is somebody on Instagram that does similar things to what I do, and she had this whole breakdown about how well the Chargers play in the cold. I'm interested to see how they do play in the cold because I can't remember the last game where they were playing, Denver, but that was our backup. So we got some dogs, though. I'll tell you what, we're better than the Dolphins in the cold. So.
Oh, I mean, better than the Dolphins in general. Yeah, these comments are something.
But we got Harbaugh
against some
too,
Chargers
man.
fans.
It's going to be a hard fought game in the cold.
It will.
Culturally speaking, it's just how Harbaugh likes it. Herbert's a dog. We got Derwin. He's not going to shy away from cold. We got guys, and so I think really this game's going to come down to how the Chargers' offensive line performs and not giving up any sneak plays. Because look, historically, the Chargers choke. You know this very well as a Patriots fan, and so as long as we can control that narrative, I think we should be okay.
Are you saying we choke? Saying that?
No, the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Playoff choke.
All right.
I said this because there's a history of Patriots just always beating the Chargers in the playoffs.
All right, yeah. There's also an issue. We sometimes won't play all 60 minutes of the game, so that's something that we're gonna want to look for, or look at if it is a scenario. Patriots do struggle to, second quarter could be an issue. We never know. I mean, it's always 3 quarters we're great, but there's always one little quarter that we struggle with. I know last game it was the second quarter where we only put up 3 points versus the Dolphins, so that was in the second quarter, so that was rough. But let's go to the injury report for Patriots and the Chargers. I can start with the Patriots. Questionable will be Alex Austin, the corner, with a wrist injury. He just came off IR, so we'll see if he's healthy. He was limited all week. Also, Harold Landry, limited all week with a knee injury. He will also be questionable. He was out versus Miami in Week 18, so he's starting edge rusher. We would love to see him back. I mean, he's not only on the field, but like on the sidelines and stuff. He's a really good leader, a veteran. I'm sure you've heard his name many times. So Harold Landry is definitely a guy that we're gonna want. Thayer Munford Jr. He's an offensive tackle. He's a backup. He'll go in at tight end sometimes and do something. But I mean, if we don't have him, then it's fine, I guess. Jared Wilson. He was full today, so he should be okay. Kayshon Boutte, questionable. He appeared in the injury report Thursday. If Boutte is out, if he is out, he was limited today, by the way. That could be that could be an issue for us. That would obviously keep Stephon Diggs at the wide receiver 1, but that could bring Kyle Williams to wide receiver 2. If that is the case, maybe Demario Douglas, but I mean, right now it goes Diggs, Boutte, Kyle Williams. So I'm not sure I'm sure you heard Kyle Williams' name in the draft in the draft process for the Chargers. But yeah, so that's gonna be something to watch out for. Hopefully he is healthy, but and then Henderson did not practice today for a personal reason. Do you have the Chargers injury report up, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Honestly, I think we're looking pretty good. I think the biggest concern is going to be the question mark around Omarion Hampton. Like, he's marked as questionable, but he clearly is actually injured. And he's going to have to play through that. And I think a majority of our touches are going to go to our backup Vidal. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Keandre Lambert Smith, he is like a wide receiver 4 or 5, extremely talented. I don't think that's going to be that much of an issue, to be honest. But he's extremely talented, and he has been getting some good touches here and there. So will him not being on the field allow the Patriots DBs to guard the other wide receivers properly? Will there be less space, less slack given? Who knows? I don't have that type of ball knowledge. But I think the Chargers are actually pretty healthy going into this game.
Yeah,
because you got to think we had a bye week last week against the Broncos.
That's true.
So we just came off a bye.
Yeah, that's true. What's your take on Austin Hooper? I love Austin Hooper, a second tight end for us. He's a little older. He's a veteran, so he can be a great leader in that room. Or I guess leader to CJ Dupree, but not many young guys in that tight end room. Hooper's great to have. That deep pass to Kyle Williams versus Ravens was unreal. Yes, it was. Mac Johnson, Diggs will be off a snap count. Time to really unleash him. That's a great point right there, Mac. Diggs will be off a snap count. You won't. I mean, this season he hasn't. There's been a few games, but like he's been unleashed for sure. But now we're really going to be able to see him just all out. I mean, versus the Bills, week 5, that was a great game for Diggs. He did break 1,000 receiving yards this season, but the playoffs is going to be where he's really going to come in clutch, in my opinion. And I think you think Derwin James could get on him a little. I mean, he's a safety, but can you see him possibly?
I really don't
him?
know. It is possible because they do put Derwin on man-to-man coverage.
I have noticed that while I watched him a little bit.
And sometimes you will see Derwin kind of coming into a corner position. So it'll be interesting, man. But I'm a huge fan of the Chargers DBs.
Yeah, they do look pretty good. All right, injury report is done. Let's go to some key matchups for this game. I mean, we were just talking about one, Stephon Diggs and possibly Derwin James. It's definitely going to be a big one. Another one I do want to watch is the Patriots offensive line versus Chargers defensive line. What do you see? What do you see in the Chargers defensive line? I want to get into them for a little bit.
The Chargers defensive line, I think, is very good. I'm a big fan of them, and what it's going to come down to is going to be how well the Patriots offensive line performs. I think that's what this whole game is going to come down to.
The trenches.
Is how each team's lines is going to come down to the trenches. Because if the Chargers offensive line plays poorly and the Patriots are getting to Justin Herbert, and Herbert's maybe not in the mood to carry the entire team on his back with a broken hand, then we're going to lose the game for sure. So I think it's going to come down to the trenches. If the Chargers can get Drake Maye out of the game early and also get the crowd out of the game early, I think that's going to be huge. I haven't seen the Chargers really get ahead early nearly much at all this year. But also keep in mind, when I go to the games, I'm like at the game drinking and stuff. So I don't pay too close attention to the Charger home games as much as the aways.
Yeah. I think losing the crowd will be something that'll be hard to do for sure. I think that it'll have to be a blowout by then. But
the Chargers, I think, need to step up and expose the Patriots, because that's kind of the narrative at play, where it's like the Chargers are the choke job and the Patriots have never been, they had the easiest schedule. And so I think those two narratives going against each other. Who do you think would make it to the AFC Championship if the Patriots lost this game? Like, do you think the Chargers are actually capable of doing that?
No, I can't see it. I can't see it happening. I mean, Texans could be there. I think Bills could be there because somehow they'll just somehow be there. I guess I don't know. Jags, Jags and Bills is gonna be a really good game this week. That's for sure. But Broncos, I could see making it. All they need is one win. So I want to ask you though, if the Chargers lose, can you see us in that spot?
No, I think it's going to be the Bills, actually. And the reason why I say that is just classic. I'll start with the Patriots. Is just I personally have not seen enough out of the Patriots yet to think that they can do that, or Drake Maye. I also think the Texans are pretty fraudulent. I think the Broncos are pretty fraudulent. And the reason why I say the Texans are pretty fraudulent is because, like, that game against the Chargers, for example, they burned our backup DBs twice in a row, but did not score a single touchdown once our defense got their act together. And so that raises some question marks. Also, if Cameron Dicker hit his field goals, the Texans aren't winning that game.
That wasn't a Monday night game, was it?
No, it was like Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. It wasn't Sunday night prime time, but it was late Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And the Broncos, for example, they almost lost to the Chiefs backups. And then I don't know if you're watching that Chargers-Broncos game, but Bo Nix looked terrible to the point where I would have to think that was intentional. I have to think that Sean Payton was like, go out there and look terrible, so all the teams that we're going to face in the playoffs aren't ready for us. That's the only explanation, because he looked like one of the worst quarterbacks. Statistically, he played worse than Trey Lance that game. So we'll see about that. And then everyone likes to discredit the Bills right now. I don't, because it's still Josh Allen. It's still the Bills. They have the experience. And then for the Jags have been on quite the win streak. They're actually the most dangerous team going into the playoffs, I like to believe.
Think so?
But I think so, because they've been on quite the win streak. But to ask them to make it to an AFC conference final is asking them to go on quite the miracle win streak run.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new season. It's tough. I think it's wide open.
Yeah, I agree. Amy with the comment, the Chargers have Ladd, Johnson, and Allen. How are the Patriots going to cover all three? That's a great point right there.
That's a great question.
Very good question. So
you're going to have to blitz Herbert.
That's also a great point. Definitely blitz Herbert. That's also a big thing. Like if Harold Landry's in, that's huge, because then that brings our undrafted free agent Elijah Ponder. I mean, that just doesn't give him that much pressure, I guess. I mean, putting an undrafted free agent as a starter in this game, that's tough to do. I mean, I don't really feel comfortable with it, if you were to ask me. So, and I love Elijah Ponder, but he's an undrafted guy. But to answer the question, it's gonna be a big part on Christian Gonzalez and Marcus Jones to do this job. I don't have much faith in Carlton Davis right now. He's a mess this season, and he like last season it was Vidarian Lowe. This season it's Carlton Davis. Like he's just not having a good season, and he was overhyped coming in. So let's say Carlton Davis gets shredded all like for the half the game, right? I would look into. I mean, Alex Austin, I don't know, maybe, but if we can put him in, I know the injury is tough too, but Carlton Davis, he'll be a liability there. Then you also have Craig Woodson and Jalen Hawkins. They've been huge help on zone coverage this season. They've been huge. So have them chip in. Who does Gonzalez cover? Great question, Mac. Ooh. Probably Johnston, right? I mean, this is a tough one. Who's taller?
Here's the thing.
Ladd McConkey or?
Oh, for sure, Johnston. Yeah, Ladd's pretty short.
It's Johnston, yeah. So
here's what I'll say, and that's a really good question. It's something that I'm trying to remind the Charger fans whenever I'm in conversations. It's like if the Chargers had the best offense, if we had a good offensive line, we would be one of the best teams in the league because we have all those weapons at wide receiver. We have a franchise quarterback, and hypothetically, we have a great offensive line. And then we got that defense we already talked about.
Uh-huh.
And so it's really going to come down to how does the Chargers offensive line perform? Because if the Patriots can get to Herbert's not going to have time to look at all of his options, to your commenter's question. And so it's going to turn into him scrambling and doing whatever he can, playing backyard football in order to get a wide receiver one of the balls. And so
it'll be
one thing the Chargers don't do well either is our offensive coordinator. A lot of diehard fans are calling for him to be fired, Greg Roman. We don't do a good job of quick passes. It seems like we're always trying to air it out and under the understanding that like Herbert's gonna scramble and figure it out, aka run for his life. And so we're not very good at like slant routes, 3-yard gains, 5-yard gains, and 5-yard gains in the air.
Yeah.
And so those are our weaknesses: offensive line and
I think offensive line is going to be an issue for. I mean, the Pats D line. Milton Williams is back. Christian Barmore. I mean, those are two. That's huge for us. I mean, having them back together, with Milton Williams obviously being on IR for a little bit, and that's where it comes down to. Is Harold Landry going to be able to play? Is if he is. It's huge. I mean, then the other side. Sorry, the other side. I mean, pass rush. I mean, you might see Elijah Ponder in a little bit, but no, we'll see. That'll be that'll be a matchup for sure. And then I want to get into a little more of that Derwin James and Stephon Diggs matchup because I do think we could see it. Derwin James is the more like. Is he fat? He's more of a hard hitting guy, right? Like a
the issue is going to be if Derwin goes helmet to helmet with somebody and gets suspended. He does that shit all the time.
I mean, I mean with that hit power, it's tough to limit yourself, right? But I mean that matchup's gonna be a game changer. Because say Derwin James locks up Stephon Diggs, then Kayshon Boutte could be the guy. Maybe Pop Douglas gets in there and he few screen passes with him, get yards after the catch. I mean, he's really good at doing that too. So one more thing. Can New England's offense perform against a top defense in the Chargers? I think
I really want to know. I really do want to know. I'm waiting for this. Yeah,
I do think we're going to be able to, because I think we're going to be able to get the ground game on, and offensive line. We have all 5 starters. I think that's going to be a huge play in this game. And then you look at the DBs that we mentioned. That's pretty much been a huge topic all show today. We have our receiving room goes into depth. So we have Diggs, obviously we mentioned him, Pop Douglas, the quick, short little guy that get a little slant or short pass and he'll turn it into a long one. Mac Hollins is on IR. We will not be seeing him, which is unfortunate, but Efton Chisholm, maybe we see him. Mac Johnson says Landry is overrated. The real question is how healthy will Milton Williams be? He looked great versus Miami in Week 18, so I think he'll be okay. And then he also said Marcus Jones should cover Ladd, which I completely agree with. Marcus Jones does not have the height that Gonzo does. Marcus Jones is like 5'8". So if we put Quentin Johnston and them together, that would be an issue. So yeah, it'll be something to see. And then also tight end Gaston, right? Patriots can't guard tight ends. Like, it's just been a huge issue. So I could see him having a great game. I mean, him and Herbert have been they've been really well together for what I've seen, right? So
that's good to know. I did not know that about the Patriots.
Yeah, we
couldn't guard tight ends.
We really struggle.
Is pretty good.
Yeah, we struggle. We are 21st in receiving yards per game allowed. And then receivers were 6th. So I mean, tight ends we can't guard too well. That'll be something to watch.
Herbert has time. If our offensive line puts on some miracle performance, it's going to be a blowout, to be honest, from the way this is sounding. But
yeah,
we don't have that. And so that exposes, like, having a bad offensive line trickles into the rest of the game. And that's been displayed with the Chargers throughout the year. And so it's going to be a pretty close game. What's your score prediction? You're obviously going to pick the Patriots. What's your score prediction?
I'm definitely picking the Pats. It could be. I could see a defensive game. I didn't have one yet, so I'm gonna. Do you have one in mind?
I'm kind of right there with you.
Yeah, like 20. I can see like 20
points.
27-20 Pats, but then I can also see like 24-17. Like, I don't see it being a high scoring game. We're gonna go 27-20.
Yeah, I'll go
Pats, by the way.
Yeah, I'll go 17 for the Pats, 20 for the Chargers.
You going Chargers?
Yeah, we got to go Chargers for sure.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that the Chargers would be the best team in the tournament if we had a good offensive line. But I'll tell you, that offensive line has been screwing us all years. Their lack of ability has been bleeding into other areas of the game.
Oh.
Herbert's got his hand broken. That's his own fault for scrambling, trying to truck a linebacker.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, Herbert's been putting on a miracle performance for us. And so if the offensive line can't perform, it becomes a question, can Herbert be Superman? And if both of those turn out to be no, the Pats win. If one of those is a yes, I think the Chargers win.
Yeah.
But asking somebody to be Superman is a very tall task, especially in the playoffs. And other teams know that. They know how to coach against that.
But then you also, like, for, I guess, your standpoint, you look and say Herbert has experience in the playoffs. I don't know if you want to call it good experience. I don't know if you want to call it good.
This win.
But Herbert does need it, but then you look at the Pats' perspective, and then you think, whoa, like this is a very young team. We're one of the youngest teams in the league. Diggs, he obviously has his playoff experience. Hunter Henry, I don't remember him being in a 20. You'd also know, right? I mean, did you guys make the playoffs when you had him?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe actually.
I don't know, because I know we haven't made it since we got him.
I'll tell you this much: if he has played a playoff game with the Chargers while they were in the soccer stadium, that's not too much.
They probably
that's
didn't
not
win
too much experience.
Right.
The team was pretty much broken. The fan base was disgusted.
Yeah.
I mean, that season was really just so Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates could just top off their career stats.
Yeah. I mean, well, Phillip Rivers decided to pick it back up, but and then
Hunter Henry has played in the playoffs. He did do it with the Chargers in 2018. And then 2020.
Oh, was he on that team with the Patriots?
Yeah, 2020 he did play with the Chargers. So he has actually played 2 playoff games with the Chargers.
Right.
And that's the thing though, actually too, back to my point, Charger fans might grill me if they hear this from me not knowing that one off the top of my head, but the Hunter Henry 2020 season with the Chargers, they actually played that game against the Patriots, but that was also COVID year, so no fans. So I guess just culturally, the atmosphere, he doesn't have too much experience in that realm.
Yeah. But then you go more into our roster. It's like Austin Hooper. He played in the playoffs 28-3. Morgan Moses, he's played in the playoffs probably for the Ravens. But then you go in like Mike Onwenu, Jared Wilson, Will Campbell, right? Drake Maye, Ramondre Stevenson, Pop Douglas, Kayshon Boutte. These guys, they haven't touched the playoffs. So that's also something to look at. Like, this is a huge game for these guys to, and Mike Vrabel said, like, build an identity.
Yeah, and a lot of these Chargers players have played playoff games, but they've been first-round exits, so they don't have too much experience with playoff wins. And then the way the Chargers culture has evolved through the move to Los Angeles, getting Harbaugh and all the things, it has evolved into, like, there's a hunger for it.
Yeah.
And so, in a lot of ways, people like to. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, the Chargers have more playoff experience, but they don't have more playoff win experience." So, in a lot of ways, this matchup is more equal than a lot of people set out to be.
Yeah,
set out to put it.
Mac Johnson says COVID, no fans to like a regular season Chargers home game. That's a good one. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, how many rookies do we? We probably have 11 rookies on this roster. So it's like, I mean, Vrabel wants to build an identity. He has playoff. He actually ended our playoffs. He ended Tom Brady's career here in New England with that Logan Ryan interception. I think it was the wild card. I think it was the wild card at the time. Tom Brady threw an interception to his former teammate Logan Ryan. That was 2019, and we haven't seen this playoff since. So it's time to come back in here and see the playoffs, and hopefully we can get a win. I do think the Patriots will get a win. We will see, but I guess we got to wait for Sunday. I think
most broadcasters agree with you. I think out of 10 picks, the Chargers only got 2.
Yeah.
And so it'll be really interesting to see how this game goes.
It will.
Chargers, terrible offensive line, need a win. Patriots, easy schedule banter, things like that. Patriots are one of the teams I don't have too much of a take on because, again, I think the Texans aren't that good. I think the Broncos are frauds. I think the Bills are still the Bills.
Yeah.
And I think the Jags are on some miracle on ice run that's going to come to an end. I'll say this, if the Patriots were the first seed and however the seeding shook out, if I wouldn't be surprised in different seeding circumstances, if the AFC conference turned out to be the Chargers and the Patriots, honestly.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely. And who knows if you guys had a schedule like us? I wonder what that would turn out to be. I mean, how was your schedule, Ben? Easy or hard or?
I don't know the exact ranking. I'd say hard just because it's AFC West, but we swept the AFC West.
But
other than Broncos with Trey Lance.
Yeah, if you don't know the seeding, then it can't be that easy. It can't be that hard. You know what I mean? So I mean, maybe a little harder than easy, but like I don't know. New England.
But that's also just like a banter talking point. Like, oh, the Patriots had this super easy season. That's like that. You're probably hearing that from your friends or Jets fans.
Yeah,
stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, we had a very easy schedule. That's for sure. I think it went in history. I think it went in the record books. It was something. So yeah, that's kind of all we have here for this one. Matt, thank you very much for joining here. And do you have any final takes to say for the game?
That's it. Number one, thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course.
I'd love to come on anytime in the future. Maybe post game if you want to rub it in my face. Yeah. If the Patriots win, if the Chargers win, whatever. I'm happy to come on anytime. For Patriots fans, if you just want to follow a Charger fan page for entertainment purposes, it's at ChargerTakes. Other than that, it's bolt up.
Yeah. I mean, so guys, make sure to go follow Matt at ChargerTakes on, is it only Instagram or do you,
I have Instagram and TikTok, but I
Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram.
All right. Yeah. Make sure to go follow him there. And then for me, if you guys enjoyed today, make sure you're following the PatriotCast on YouTube. And then let's see, we just got on Amazon Music and Spotify. So, you can go listen to this wherever you are now. So go follow Patriot Focus on all socials for when we're not talking. So thank you so much for joining again today. Thanks for all of our viewers. The comment section, it was great today. So thank you everyone, and until Sunday, right?
Until Sunday. Thanks again.